All right. Hi, everyone. Just waiting for Kathleen to join here. Thank you for joining us today. Oh, perfect. Hello again.
I hope I didn't make you wait too long.
Oh, no, that was perfect. Perfect timing.
Okay, good.
All right. Well, I'll just do my quick intro and then we can get started.
Hi, Dennis. Hi. Well, I guess we'll wait a few minutes, right? That's usually what you do.
Yeah, let's see. It looks like we got a couple people joining. So my name is Felicia Garcia. I'm the Curator of Education at SAR's Indian Arts Research Center. Thank you so much for joining us in our SAR Artists Live series. We took a brief break, but we're so happy to be here with Kathleen Wall. Kathleen is a potter from Jemez Pueblo, and she was our 2016 Eric and Barbara Dobkin Fellow. All right, so it looks like we have just about 10 people, 11 people, and so I think we can get started if you just want to introduce yourself and let us know what you're working on.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Wall. I'm just, well, what I'm working on today is a storyteller. I decided to work on something while we have our discussion because I just thought it'd be kind of cool. So first of all, hello, SAR family and everybody on Instagram and logging on, here and there and everywhere else. I'm not sure. So this right here is a storyteller. And I don't know if anybody, I'm sure anybody that knows my work kind of knows the beginnings of my work. And the beginnings of my work is learning how to make a storyteller. And this is basically what I learned. This is my aunt's piece, my Auntie Dorothy Trujillo. And she made these beautiful, she made a gazillion of these beautiful little storytellers. And my mom and my and her sisters all made storytellers, so that's kind of how I was brought up. That's Dorothy Trujillo. I brought one more. This is the newest to my collection. It's so adorable. This was made by my auntie Edna, and she's signed Marie Curies, though it's not Edna. We knew her as Edna, but it's Marie Curies. This piece came to me when I was delivering a piece of art to a house in Rio Rancho, and they were deciding what to do with the collection. And I saw this piece and it brought me to tears because I have works of all my other aunts and my mom's and everything, but I did not have one of her pieces. So this was like, as tiny as it is, as small and bitty as it is. But this is how I started. I made a lot of pieces exactly this size. Like this is what my job was as a teenager, as a, young in my 20s, my early 20s. So this is what I did. So, but it has now translated, and this is what I do now. I have a few storytellers here. I don't know if you can see that other one, but anyways, that's basically what I do. So here I am going to put on this. So this is having one last baby. This is going to have six, 2, 4, 6, 6 altogether. 4 ones with ponytails and 2 with out. And I do this along with a lot of artists that do clay sculptures. A lot of people use the same technique where they put a piece of plastic to keep this wet so it can still add on. And as you see, the rest of it it's very dry, in order for it to stand up. And then the scoring, I'll go into other things in a minute, but we'll just start this.
So how long have you been working on this piece?
This particular piece, okay, so I'm kind of freakish this way. I'm going to tell you. Okay, so this particular piece is in order, and I ended up making 4 pieces, very similar, very large, very small. I have to show it to you now that you asked. Now that you asked, I hope I can get this back where it was. Oh my God. Okay, so this one is there's one.
Oh my goodness.
And then there's another one. I like this one because he's singing and holding a rattle and singing. I have so much work, it's ridiculous. So anyways, the thing about my work and how I work and what I do is there's a lot of different jobs, a lot of different things to be done, being an artist. Of course, this is one of them, being on the media part of it. And it's always daunting for me. I sometimes can't get my media done, primarily because it takes a lot of energy. You know, it's a different type of energy to talk to people or to put the makeup on and make yourself presentable and represent not only my work but my people well. So sometimes it's a little much for me. I can't always get it done. But so for me, like right now I have a slew of orders and I have like demands, but kind of in this time I've only been able to make, so I have a lot of pieces made, like you can just see them, they're just everywhere. And I think because the clay part of my work is the most therapeutic and it's the most healing for me, and in this climate of the world right now, I've been very comfortable just making. So I've been making a lot, but now that deadlines are kind of really pushing me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta do the other work.
Right.
But I've done quite a few interviews and Zooms and different functions via cyberness.
Yeah.
So, the cyberness of it all. So this guy is going to hold in his hand, kind of like the one behind me.
Oh,
the last little baby. So the storytellers have changed a lot. You know, for me, I didn't stick with the traditional Coachity influence storyteller, which is kind of the basis, I think, of my family's work. I would like to say that primarily because my oldest aunt was married into Coachity, so it has a very Coachity look, and then by my aunts all making storytellers, it varied. It just started running the gamut. But my favorite pieces of my aunts are in the 70s. Like they're my absolute favorite. I just love them to death. So I don't typically collect newer work of theirs. When I find the older work, hi Flo Bader. Okay. That's usually the stuff I resonate with. I can't believe I can see my friends popping up. That is cool.
I know, it's so sweet.
I've never done this. I've only done, you know, other, like there's Tina. Oh my God, hi Tina. I haven't seen her in a long time. I've only done, you know, things where you have no idea who's watching, or, you know,
right, on Zoom or
like so
webinars. Yeah.
This is kind of crazy. Like seeing everybody like, hi, you know. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is start a child. So the basis of a child, I mean, and all storyteller makers are completely different. Everybody makes their storytellers different. But this is kind of how I was taught. And so I always kind of resonate to what I was taught and then kind of modify in whatever way. So you get a little piece of clay, an oval shape, and then I gotta lift it up here, I see. Cut the legs like this. And then you start molding it. The particular piece I showed you with the rattle, that piece is not made like this. All the little babies are hollow. So that's a technique. These babies, they're not all hollow, primarily just the heads are hollow. So the legs and the body is not. I don't know which one you can see. There's a little guy reading.
Oh, that's sweet. And let me know if you want me to pull up any of your images. I think I was able to get them on my phone, so I can.
Oh, nice, nice. Well, kind of just we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so so what I'm doing here is I'm making the legs, and everything's real wet here. Like here, it's so dry.
Right.
Just like right in here, nothing's gonna stick. But right here, it's super wet because this was all covered, and then this is all new clay. Okay. So I'm gonna like put this on here, and then what I do to adhere things. Well, usually I'm kind of jumping ahead. Usually I do more detail. Because I need feet and everything. But what I do is I'll score this up. See how easy this is? This super duper wet. But it's only wet from here. This is pretty hard because this has to hold the weight. Yeah, so that's basically how I do that. So I'll put some details on here. The piece behind me is an SAR piece.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I recognize
that's from my exhibit at SAR, and that was really exciting. You might want to pull some of those up. I loved being at the SAR. That's like one of my highlights of my life. That's something that I treasure. And my heart does go out to everybody that had to SAR on quarantine, because part of my SAR experience was being extremely social. We had a lot of dinner parties and I had a lot of studio visits. I kind of had an open studio where everybody could just, give me a call, jump right in and hang out. And I tried my hardest to do that with other artists after me, like to pop in and visit a little bit. So
it.
I get that experience with a few artists. So that was nice.
Sorry, I don't have your
It's
grandpa piece in here. I have some of your newer ones from Indian Market, and then the one that you were showing me earlier with the little basket. So,
oh, I wanted to show that off. Let me put this guy on and then we can show it off. My husband's trying to tell me something. What are you trying to tell me?
Everything blocked.
Oh yeah, it's your phone. He's got an old phone and he's complaining about his picture. He
Oh,
wants to fix it. He's telling me to buy him a new phone. Okay, so basically, and then once I get the piece on, we'll get this all scored in there. So I kind of like tear it up. It like gets all torn up on both sides and underneath. And we just kind of make it one piece by not only scoring, but pushing the clay together and making it all cohesive. Can you see this?
mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know. Poor Mike. I told you, poor Mike. That's funny. Michael's my husband, everybody, with his old phone. This is his first time actually getting on Instagram. So,
Oh, okay.
No sympathies. We're good. And then I'll just start putting, first I'm going to do some arms first. That way I don't lose the plasticity of the piece. It's got a lot of moisture right now, and this is a good time to adhere anything if you're going to adhere anything. This is really fun, by the way. Thanks for this. I'm one of these creatures of socialness. Oh my God. This whole pandemic is having an effect on my my spirit, my what they call it, my butterfly spirit.
So have you been doing a lot more like Zooms and virtual programs over these last few months?
I have. This is my second SAR, I believe, Zoom
Yes.
cyber function. I've done one. I did this really cool interview with the Mexican consulate, and they took an artist from Mexico, Oaxaca, and myself, and they did this whole. I would talk about my work, and she would talk about her work, and it was very close, very close. So it was interesting. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't know how it's going to come out, because it was very, I think, experimental.
Okay.
I can't wait. I'm excited about that. And then I did the Medicine Man series, and that was a lot of fun with Dr. Mark. And he got me talking about my childhood, which I have never done on an interview. That was just like blew me away. So that's something to check out. And then, of course, Indian Market was cyber. The things I have coming up are all going to be cyber shows.
Indian Market.
Yeah. So what I did is I set up my whole booth in my living room, and I made all my clients wait until Indian Market morning in order to have any conversation about them. So that was, for me, it was good because I'm an Indian Market girl. This is my favorite time of the year. It's like This is what I live for. And for me to be stingy with it and only have it that Indian market weekend, I really felt like I was staying true to like
Right.
what we do, what I've always done, you know. So that was really fun.
I know, I love how you have your booth set up in your studio like that. It looks so
I
cute.
tried my hardest to make it as close as I could to the original Indian market booths, you know. Okay, so now that I've got it here, I'm gonna turn it this way, and then let me take a drink of my. I'm drinking iced tea, although it's snowing outside.
I know, it's so cold.
I can't believe how snowy it is. It's really beautiful. Last night, I was checking on. Well, we had to finish picking our chili. That's another thing. My house is full of corn, chili, melons, just everything. And so last night I picked the last of my bell peppers and tomatoes and some kale and, you know, just the last of my garden, trying to put it all together. But my cotton, like less than a quarter of it has bloomed. And I'm not an expert gardener, so I don't know if the cotton needs to still be alive in order to still make cotton. I'm going to show you my cotton. Look at it, I grew it in my garden.
Oh,
isn't that cool?
that's amazing.
These are the seeds. These are the seeds. You gotta like, you have to like get the cotton, and then there's like little seeds in there for next year, and then you got little seeds out, and then you get the little cotton. I have some clean. This is the only one I cleaned so far. But isn't that the coolest thing?
That's really cool.
When I pulled the cotton out the first time, I'm like, it's like real cotton. It's like crazy. So anyways, I went outside and I had my kids help me put wire and plastic over the cotton little plants. So, I mean, all I can do is hope that they survive, but who knows? We'll see.
Do you have any plans for the cotton that you've already picked?
Pueblo people use cotton for a variety of things. Okay. And so, yeah, we'll use it. I'm not going to clean my toenails with, you know, toenail polish with it. I'll use it for for real stuff. I don't wear nail polish anymore, so. I contemplated it. Yesterday I was like, I wonder if I should wear nail polish. My hands are going to be like real close to
right.
Like, yeah, it's too much work. Okay, she's looking good. He's looking good. Let's see. And then I've got to put a little face on. How are we doing on time? Because I do want to show you that other piece. Remember that we did an interview with the SAR fundraiser, and we ran out of time completely. I don't know.
It went so fast.
I don't know where it went. So I didn't get to show off the piece I made for Indian Market this year. I made this really cool piece. They gave us like an assignment this year for Market to honor our parents. And I didn't really know what to do. And, you know, in clay, I honestly am not as expressive as I dream to be or I'd like to be. You know, I'm like painting and a lot of two-dimensional and media arts. You can really express a lot of really cool stuff. But like I worked so small and so little that I had a hard time figuring out how I was going to honor my parents. But this particular piece I made to honor them. So I definitely want to get back to that before we run out of time today. Hi, Craig George. I saw you join. That's my my college classmate from Institute of American Indian Arts. Props. Yeah, my son wants to say hi. His hair is messy, but I'll let him. Oh, okay, that's enough.
Your tech assistant?
No, this one's not the tech assistant.
Okay.
He's the youngest. The oldest is the tech assistant, and he just didn't show up today. So sledding, luckily. Yeah, they're gonna go sledding already.
Oh, that sounds fun.
That much snow. I can't believe that much snow. Okay, so we've got it kind of smoothed out. So now I'm gonna come in with some hands. Can you see this? Okay, so anywho, I definitely love to dabble in some painting. I haven't had a large opportunity. I thought I was going to tackle more experimental work during this quarantine.
Right.
And honestly, it's weighed on me emotionally to where I think I've just resonated with making pieces.
Right.
And there, there's some pieces that are like really involved. Like this piece takes a lot of thought, and it's about land and you know, reclaiming or claiming what was once ours, or acknowledging like the land that we live in. That takes so much energy and
Right.
physical and mental and emotional energy to make these pieces that actually mean something so much bigger than me. So, and these pieces are more of like I call them my heart and hands pieces, because I don't have to stretch. I don't have to exert my emotions and exert my abilities to make these, because these kind of just, you know, this is my life's work. This is stuff that, you know, I resonate towards, and it's healing to me. You know, I
Right.
don't have to. And then with the world it is today, you're already using so much emotions and so much energy. I've really just kind of like just calmed down and honed in and just made pieces. But I did finish this girl. You can see her. I finished this one. Oh, this is the late. I'll pull this out now. But I finished her for Indian Market. I didn't have her done. So what I did is I had to paint all this. This was a lot of work. Oh my gosh, painting all the embroidery, and then like the beadwork, and then also the earrings, and then
Wow.
the basket's like a hickory Apache kind of basket, or maybe same basket. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this other piece out. Let me wash my hands real quick, because now we're at a point where she can just sit for a minute.
And when you go to your studio, do you have to be like in a place where you're really inspired, or do you feel like you can just go and work on your pottery at any time?
Okay, so my studio used to be a place where I'd drive to. It
Okay.
used to be a place where I'd pack up the kids, my husband would go to work, and I would drive here and go to work. Once he retired the military, I made everybody move here. I didn't even care. So we're all here, and and the thing is, my studio is such an extension of myself that
Right.
there's no separation.
Right.
There's no separation from my work to my everyday life. It's just it's just what I do every day, kind of thing. I just sit and make some pottery. Let me move this over a little bit.
I'll pull up the pictures too, so if people
Okay,
can
yeah.
maybe see some more detail or.
So this particular piece I made for Indian Market. They had a contest on honoring your parents. Well, I didn't win, but it's okay. So because I was raised Pueblo, I don't have a lot of knowledge about my Ojibwe upbringing. I don't have the language. I don't have a lot of relatives to share it with me. So this is basically what I could offer this. So I dressed this pottery in the Pueblo attire. And so she's wearing a manta and the wraparound moccasins, or buckskin wraparound moccasins, and of course the jewelry and the long hair. So this particular piece, she's praying. I can't move the camera, so I can't really show you. But she's praying. She's holding cornmeal here, and so that's the part that's Pueblo, and that's the part that, you know, I know very well. And so what I did was I put the Ojibwe woodlands designs on her dress. Usually we have a very angular type of designs on most of our dresses, or we have like floral kind of what do they call it? Lacy, like a type thing, or embroidered. So this is very different. So this is the woodlands flowers and design, and I put it on everywhere I could. And then this I'm gonna take this off so I can show it to you.
This is my favorite part.
Where's the camera? Okay. Okay, so this is a little basket, and it's a birch bark basket inspired by my beautiful friend Kelly. She makes birch bark baskets. So this is this opens up, and I tried to make it as best I could to make it look like a birch bark basket, to where she's keeping her cornmeal, because typically we'll keep our cornmeal in like a leather pouch. But this was a lot of fun.
So detailed.
Yeah, this was a lot. Oh, and then here's the top. Where's the pop-up?
Wow.
And I wanted to show this off last time, but I didn't get to.
Here, I'll pull up the back picture too.
So this is the piece I made for my the honoring assignment that Swaya gave us.
It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
And do you prefer to work at a larger scale or smaller, like about that size?
I think it just all varies. You know,
Right.
It's hard for me to dictate like what's easier or what's better.
Right.
Sometimes it's necessity that I get so much inventory done. It's a necessity for me to not only get a couple of large pieces done, but because I'm going to a show, I have to get some smaller ones done too. In this climate, I've been very lax because there's not a lot of demand on having to put on a whole show.
Right.
Yeah. So, and of course, I take advantage of that by not doing so much work. But I am working. It's just that it's kind of like changed to like making sure the kids are safe, making sure the kids are all good, because I have two in high school, well, one in junior high and one in high school, so we had to make their spaces for the homeschooling. We've been extremely busy with the garden
Right.
Very a busy situation, so that's coming to an end. And then now it'll be like gathering wood for the wood stove. I can't, we have like fire going now. It's crazy. So now I'm gonna jump back on here and I'm gonna start working on the details of the face.
And do you have an idea for like what the little babies are gonna look like, or does it just kind of come to you as you're making it?
This particular piece is in order, so I have to stay a little focused.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I ended up with 4 of them, because I'm not focused, and I ended up like veering away and making something that didn't fit the order whatsoever, and so I have to start it over again. So so now I got like all these storytellers in my house, and it's just for one order, which is fine. I end up doing that quite a bit. I have just all these obligations, and I just haven't fulfilled all of them yet. So, my sister just tuned in. I saw that.
Oh.
My sister.
And if anyone watching has any questions, feel free to type them in your little comment box and I'll be sure to read them to Kathleen.
Okay, so I know I was wondering what I was gonna make. I was like, I'm gonna make pottery on Instagram. I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? I didn't want to mix clay or anything, but this was perfect because it's just small enough.
Right.
We can put it in the screen. Yeah. So my next show, I believe my next show is going to be at the Millicent Rogers Museum in Tucson.
Okay.
House.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing some type of virtual situation to where they're making a video. I'm not exactly clear, although I'm on the board, but I'm not exactly clear because things happen. So anyways, I believe they're gonna make a video and then broadcast the video with each piece highlighted or something or other. So that's going to happen in November. So the Millicent Rock in November. And then also the Cherokee Art Market is happening. And I was pleasantly pleased that they're going forward with the market. The market actually would have been the first week of October, but now it's going to be in December. So that's going to, I think I'm only going to have 5 pieces in that show if I get them done. Okay, so now that I have some of it done, I'm changing the head, because now it's very pliable. You can move things around without breaking it, as long as you're very slow and you're kind of moving like little pinches. You got to pinch it, like you move, like I can move in the head, but I'm actually pinching the neck.
Okay.
And so it's kind of moving this way. Do you see? It's like saying hi. Now it's like looking at him better.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know, I really enjoy making these pieces. My son's he's gonna go sledding.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
It's kind of funny because usually, I mean, for some appearances, they're not allowed to talk. They're not allowed to. I'm like, do not. Okay, don't interrupt. But this one, I figured this one was pretty chill.
Yeah, that's why I love Instagram Live because it's like so casual and I just feel like it's less pressure than doing like a online lecture or, you know, having a formal presentation.
Yeah, a couple of formal presentations I've had, I'm all dressed up and I'm like, I feel like I'm going to a ball, right? So I'm
Right.
ready to go. And then, um, and then everybody clicks off and I'm like all by myself and it's such
Right.
a lonely feeling and I'm all dressed up and like absolutely nowhere to go. The gates are locked at the, you know, there's like no getting
Right.
out. So, I was like, no, I'm wearing sweats and tennies and, you know, my work clothes though. This is my day to get out though. Mondays is my day for shopping. So I might go to the grocery store after this. You can hear my kids, huh? Can you hear me? They're looking for all their sledding stuff and they want to ask me questions. It's killing them. Okay, so let me get some more detail in here.
I'm gonna pull up some of your other pictures so people can
Go
see.
for it. Yeah. And if if anybody has any questions or if you have a question, I think, okay, so yeah, oh, I love that little guy singing away. He's sitting, Corinne has that piece. Corinne and Tanji. That was the Indie Market piece.
Nice.
I like to make him sing. I really love that. I was really influenced by the garden this year. I made quite a few pieces with like garden goods in their bowls.
I know this one has so many little details and like the canteen. It's so sweet.
I believe that went to Fort Collins. Fort Collins. Okay, so now I just put some lines at the hand. Tell me if you can't see this. And then what I do is I just kind of pull it out and round it off.
Okay.
And I do that for all the little fingers. I just kind of pull them apart and round them off. And that's how their hands get done. It's so simple. It's very pottery technique-y. It's not like, I mean, of course, like when I do other pieces like the sculpture, I mean, it's very different techniques. But when I'm working on Pueblo pottery, it's super calming. There's nothing like crazy about it. It's very healing. I really enjoy it. So like when I venture off and do something different or like the paintings with the sculptures and stuff like that, all that's really great, but I always come back to the Pueblo pottery because sometimes I need it. Sometimes I feel kind of heartbroken when I'm away from it. And then I have to revisit and I have to get back at it just to feel better.
Do you have any plans for upcoming projects?
You know, I have plans in my head, but I feel like I don't know how far I should plan or how far I can give that energy to. For the Mayak, I have an exhibit was supposed to go up right before the pandemic,
Right.
and there, and the thing is, it is a pretty big show for a living treasure show. Is usually just a few pieces from the artist, but this particular show I have some really large works. I have quite a few originals I worked really hard to get in the show. So I feel like that's happening. It's gonna happen, and so I guess I can talk about it as a show coming up, but we're just not sure when it's going to get hung. We just don't know when things are going to start opening up, which is fine. I mean, that's what has to happen. But as far as looking forward to projects, I don't have a lot on the horizon other than the Pueblo pottery.
Okay.
Or like, because a lot of the other works are getting together with people, you know, like sometimes, you know, work you want to do is kind of about somebody or about something, and there's not a lot of communication or, well, for me, there isn't, because I'm on the reservation and it's a very tight as far as us going out to work. So, which is fine. It's just, it is what it is. So. For me, it is. My kids are all bundled up like they're little babies going out to the snow. And they're not babies. My kids act like babies, but they're not. They're big kids. Okay, so I'm pretty much done. So I'll do some, a few touches. Let's see, I'll do some lines for the hair. This is my favorite tool. It's a corn on the cob holder.
Oh.
And I use it all day long. If I don't have this tool, I'm going crazy. But it's corn on the cob.
That's so fun.
I got it at a yard sale. I got 2 of them at a yard sale about 10 years ago, and I use them all the time.
My grandma is watching and she sent some little laughing emojis.
Oh. It's so funny. So it kind of comes to, I'm trying to get the back done, and then I'll do the front. And he's just looking at him. A lot of times with the pigtails, I put earrings, but these are so small, I'll die putting earrings. We're not going to put earrings on these guys. So all this is Jemez clay. I dig my clay here, just like every other potter here in Jemez. And I also dig the volcanic ash. A lot of times, though, I will purchase my clay from my cousin Nick. My husband just waved at me. That's why I waved back. They're sledding. So I guess I'm peace and quiet. And it's kind of cool because the interview's almost over and they just left and they probably won't be back for hours.
So will you fire all of these pieces at the same time?
I fire as I need to.
Okay.
Hi, Craig. I fire as I need to because a lot of times I won't get stuff done. You know, I'm going to work really hard on this piece, and there's a piece on the table that's very similar to this, but the legs go straight out, and it's very similar to this, but the legs go straight out. So I'm going to work really hard on these 2 pieces because it's a birthday present and I cannot miss the birthday. So that's one thing I try my hardest to do, is not miss important deadlines like that. Although I know Dennis is like, well, where's my piece? Because he's on. I know, like, oh my God. And I do owe a lot of pieces right now, and I'm trying my hardest to get them done. But so I'm giving him nostrils right now. That's why it's not facing you. I gotta see what I'm doing here. Little nostrils. One time when I was a teenager, I made a piece. I don't know what I made, but it had nostrils, and they weren't very clean. And somebody got mad at me saying that I left boogers in his nose. I felt so bad, and it just stuck in my head, and that's one thing. Oh, look at Dennis is clapping. So I try my hardest to not leave boogers on the nose. But sometimes, you know, boogers happen. That's just
right.
That's just life. Okay, so you get a little more of a smile. Let me show you guys a little more detail here. And a lot of the detail happens after drying. Sometimes I'll do like a little more carving or something, but that's basically it. And I just want to do some gesture. We'll do some gesture. Like, oh, you're just so cute. How's that?
Oh, it's amazing.
Okay. Cool. So how are we on time? Did I do that in record time?
Yeah, you really did. I think, yeah, we're pretty much getting to the end here. I just want to be conscious not to take up too much of your time or
No,
Anyone
no, no.
lunch hour?
This is what I'm here for. Oh, have you ever sculpted another national? Oh, yes, that's what I want to do. I a part of this project here, Flo Fader asked if I have done other nationalities,
Mhm.
and that's basically my dream. It's, I mean, anybody that's gone on to the SAR projects or the videos, that's really what I want to do. I want to start talking about indigenous lands across the nations, and where people have lost land due to privatizing sacred sites and selling lands under indigenous people. And I want to do keep to the same project and uh, focus on different nationalities and where they've lost their lands, and make the sculptures kind of similar. I mean, in that same medium, with the painting of the land that they're most connected to, or like the project I did at the SAR was native names, and
Mhm.
where I painted the native name. So this is Ohoshi, and I painted his native name, and this is the portrait of him. He's supposed to stand up a little bit to where he blends more into the painting, but
Mhm.
I don't know where the stand is. So basically, he's so much a part of the land he comes from. It's our names, and it's how we express ourselves very much. And I want to do that, in more indigenous communities, not just my own. Thank you,
That's
Flo, for
amazing.
that excellent question.
I know that was a great question.
It was.
Yeah, and if you go onto SAR's e-museum site, you can see the piece that Kathleen made at SAR, and she donated it to our collection. And then when things open up, you can come to SAR and visit it in person. All right. Well, I think any more questions? So you'll give people a minute to type anything out if they want to.
This piece right here, I love to recreate art that's not pottery. I just love it. So this is a recreation of like an Apache or a Tohono O'odham basket. And so many times, oh, they have snow in Denver.
I know, I saw that one and the little birch bark basket, and I thought that you had
Ah,
made
oh,
miniature baskets.
hey. Pat, she's a collector. She's got way
Oh,
too many pieces. She's like one 22 or something ridiculous.
wow.
But yeah, so I've done these types of baskets. I've done a parfletch, birch bark baskets. I have one where the birch bark is kind of like on the rough birch bark on the outside. I'm not sure I don't know the terms of the two different. I know there's a black ash and oh gosh, Kelly's gonna kill me. I should have. I've done both of those. So I just love looking at something and making it out of clay. It's just really fun. But this is typically we would have like food in here, whether it be bread and chili or beans or whatever, but also the fresh foods. It was really fun for the garden. I had this one basket I got at Palms. Guy should be watching. But anyways, Palms in Albuquerque. Oh, I can shout out. I have a great display at Hotel Chaco. I just thought
Okay,
did a great job on that.
amazing.
Anyways, I bought a basket from him. It was a Hamus basket, and I bought it just because they say it was a Hamus basket, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I got it, and it was one of the winnowing ones,
Mhm.
but it was such a nice little size, and I used it all summer to gather stuff out of my garden. And my daughter winnowed our garbanzo beans and our popcorn. I grew popcorn and garbanzo beans and a bunch of other veggies. But yeah, it was
Oh,
really
that's
neat
so
to use
nice.
that basket, and I used it. I didn't even just like was careful with it. I mean, I
Right.
really used it. And then it made me think, like, all of our utilities are just like, we use them.
Mhm.
And become these beautiful pieces that cost a lot of money. But I'm really glad that I just used it and didn't worry about how much it cost and put it
Right.
on the wall. Yeah, so it brought a lot of really good memories to me. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
I did have one more question.
Mhm.
What's the best way for everyone watching to stay up to date on what you're doing and where you're exhibiting? Do you use social media or your website?
Probably, I mostly do Facebook. I'm trying to navigate Instagram a little better. I'm just not the best at it, or it's kind of new to me. I think I'm
Mhm.
only maybe a year and a half, so it's fairly new to me, and I do need to focus on it a little bit more. Social media is probably the best way. I usually post anything that I'm going to do or I'm on my way to getting ready for. Um, no, I have kind of. um, yeah, probably Instagram and Facebook are the two ways. My website has like shows that I participate in, but I'm not real active on my website. I have like my contact information. So if anybody wants to contact me, it'd be Kathleen at KathleenWall.com. I mean, KathleenWall.com. Email is Kathleen at KathleenWall.com.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Well, I think that's all I have for you today, and it looks like we had some good questions, but some people are saying goodbye now. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for your
Thank you for
time.
having me. It was so much fun. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. All
Appreciate
right,
it.
and this will be on our YouTube, everyone, so you can watch again and again or share with whoever you'd like. So stay tuned for that, and we'll have it up on our SAR page.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Kathleen.
All
Bye.
right. Bye bye.